So I don't know if y'all saw, but there's this whole discourse going on Twitter talking about why do clubs suck now and why does club culture suck now? And we gonna get into it because I'll tell you why club culture sucks now. Step number one, section culture. If y'all really want to understand why clubs suck now, you must understand that section culture has ruined clubs. The fact that y'all want people to pay $300 for a bottle of Hennessy and $1,000 for a section in a club that may or may not bust, but then I can't have no more than 8 people in my section or 5 people in my section is crazy as hell, especially on a random ass Saturday when I'm trying to go outside and have a good time. Another reason why I be telling people all the time that club culture suck, like this one girl said on Twitter, y'all don't play no dance music in the club, and it's absolutely facts. Like, how do you expect me to dance to Lil Durk and Lil Baby the whole time in the club? That shit just ain't gonna work. Like, don't nobody want to be in the club listening to how you dropped your ops the whole time. Like, play some dance hall, play some bounce music, like play something, but do not play some house music, something, whatever, but do not sit up here and play no like drill the whole time in the club. Don't nobody want to hear that. You can hear that in your car, you can hear that during your smoke sessions. We don't want to hear that in the club. Another reason club culture sucks is because y'all love recording people to embarrass them to put it online. And let me get into it. People usually used to go to the club back in the day in the early 2000s to just get outside, party, celebrate life, and have fun. Which is why the lyrics pull up to the club, gas tank on E, but all drinks on me was created in the first place. But y'all love to kiki and laugh at people because maybe they hair sweating out, maybe they wig sweating back, maybe they outfit don't look up to par with you would like. So people are so self-conscious that they would rather stand on the wall the whole time instead of dancing in the club in the party, and y'all wonder why people don't go to the clubs no more. What are y'all other reasons that y'all think people don't go to the club no more? Because we could get into it, like we could talk about it.
I mean, what if I don't want to live the way you live?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this.
I don't think we've had enough conversations about how much hustle culture is like actually killing all of us. Because I'm burnt the fuck out. And I don't know how much longer I can do this, and it's not funny. Like, I'm gonna cry if I don't laugh right now. I have a whole full-time job. Like, I have 2 degrees. I have a full-time job. I'm a supervisor in a lab, and I have to pick up a second job to be able to pay for daycare so that my daughter can go to the first job so that I can afford food and rent and gas and all this shit. All the while, I'm also a full-time student to get my 3rd college degree because I don't like my full-time job anymore and I'm not fulfilled. And like, I live in this very weird world of like, I deserve to have this life that I like and I should get to travel and get to take my daughter to do things and stuff. And also like, I'm literally breaking my body and my mind and my spirit by having to work all of this and do all this stuff. And for what? Right now, I'm just in one of those times that I go through about once every 3 to 6 months where I'm just like, what's really going on here? We can never win against capitalism. I have to work 60 hours a week and make $80,000 a year to make ends meet. That's insane. I can't even begin to wrap my head around it. And then I start spiraling. For those of you that are new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm an addict. I've been in recovery for about 7 years from IV, meth, and heroin. And pulling myself out of all that and having a job and like doing the stuff that's supposed to help you and like a productive member of society is a lot of how I'm proud of myself in recovery. So when I get in these moods, it's just like, what the fuck is all of this for? Why did I go through hell to just go through hell again? Sober. And I like being sober. I like being clean. This is not what this is about. But it's the principle of like, all of this shit is for what?
Hustle culture is so funny to me. It's like you're grinding right now after the year we just had that proved the entire world model's broken. You're still comfortable building that empire? All right, well, I see some grass here. I'm gonna lay down in some dog shit. Yeah, I think I still prefer the dog shit.
Listen, bro, don't invite me to the club no more if we just finna be standing around looking cute, bro. No, I'm here to be on the dance floor, bro. Yo, because I'm tired of seeing this. Like, why I go to the club last night and I ain't been out in a cool couple months, bro. Like, I'm actually excited to go out. You know what I'm saying? So I pay like the $10 admission fee. Spent like 15 on a little drink, bruh. Had me a nice fit going. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go out, bro. get in the club and everybody just standing around trying to look pretty, bro. Like, bro, I came here to be on the dance floor. I'm here to turn up, have a good time. Like, I swear, bro, it's the same shit. Like, where do I have to go to have a genuinely good time at the club? Because I've been clubbing now the past year in 3 different cities, bro. Sacramento, San Jose, and San Diego, bro. And every club is the same shit, bro. You got these motherfuckers with the sections. These motherfuckers just sitting around popping they fits. And these motherfuckers trying to just go home with somebody for the night. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't got nobody on the dance floor no more, bro. Nobody two-stepping. Nobody drop that. Like, that's what I'm here for, bro. And if y'all ain't doing that, y'all just here to stand around and look pretty, don't invite me to the club no more, bro. Like, I'm on God, y'all got it, bro. I'm sorry, bro, but club culture is dead, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Maybe I need to start clubbing with the Mexicans, bro. Like, I hear they be going up, bro. Shit, man, shit.
I wanna go home. I wanna go.
I thought that this was a good opportunity to bring up my favorite article of all time. How we're living in the great American scam. If you followed any of my work, any of my videos, you know that it is my life mission to get us off of this constant hamster wheel that we seem to be living on. And this piece by Tim Crater, who originally wrote The Busyness Trap back in the early 2000s, wrote a piece that sums up pretty much my entire life belief this past summer. Let's take a look. At a baseline, he says, everyone is still busy, worse than busy, exhausted, too wiped at the end of the day to do more than stressy, binge watch, and doom scroll. And no one's calling it anything other than what it is anymore, an endless, frantic hamster wheel. And why is that? In the past few decades, capitalism has exponentially increased the creation of wealth for already incredibly wealthy people at the expense and well-being, dignity, and happiness of most of humanity. Point blank. So what do? Do something. I'll share more.
One thing I know, it's only part of luck and so I'm putting on my best show.
So, for 8 hours in the day, I am sleeping. For 9 hours a day, I'm at work. I got these 2 hours right here, which is getting ready for work. Then I have this time over here that is open for fun and hijinks. I need to figure out how to have a fulfilling life in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours each day.
Let's talk about hustle culture and why it's so toxic. Hustle culture promotes ideas like my success is entirely dependent on how hard I'm working. I can white knuckle it through anything. If I stop working, I stop being successful. It's entirely based out of fear and limiting beliefs. Now let's talk about inspired action. Taking inspired action means listening to your gut and to your intuition and also following your heart's desires and believing that you can accomplish every single one of them. Get really specific about the what and don't get caught up in the how. And follow those crazy whims that come to you because that is the inspired action. And don't try to hustle your way to a life that you aren't even living.
If you're a young person questioning hustle culture, let's talk about it. Because I thought that when I graduated college and got a job, people would stop asking me, so what do you want to do for a career? Except I became an innkeeper at a bed and breakfast, and I guess that's not good enough because the other day, a man who knows perfectly well what I do for a living asked me, so what do you want to do for a career? It made me think about the expectations we put on young people to constantly achieve more, get more degrees, look for an even better job, even if that gets them into a bunch of debt or makes them miserable. There's just a lot of people who value achievements and benchmarks over well-being, where they think that those things equal well-being. But I disagree. It should be enough that I'm doing something I enjoy for a living, and it should be enough that I'm debt-free and financially stable at 24. And it should be enough that I love to learn, but I'm tired of doing it inside the four walls of a college classroom. Of course I have ambitions and goals, but I refuse to let those desires be driven by the fact that somebody thinks I'm not good enough and I need to achieve more. So what do you think? Are you sick of hustle culture?
Nobody even dances at the club. Everything is about being aesthetically pleasing. It's like I'm shished out, I'm launched out, I'm clubbed.
I hear you, right? Because this is me. Like, I just wasn't a club girl. Like, don't take me because I'm probably going to go to sleep. Like, I literally can't hang. There used to be, like, bouncers and, like, staff and, like, bartenders that tap me and, like, hey, man, you need to wake up. If you go to fuck to sleep again, we're putting you the fuck out. Rightfully so. So what I would do is grab all my shit and go out to the car and go to sleep until everybody else was ready because I just simply cannot hang and it just wasn't fun to me. Until I started traveling and going out, and I did my motherfucking research. I'm like online, I'm on TikTok. I'm like, where are black clubs? Like, where's like, you know, the fun at? I think it's a US thing in a way. In a way, don't quote me, but I kind of think it is because anytime my like non-clubbing ass go to sleep in the club type person go to other places and I like go out, I have a blast. I have a fantastic time. And I think it also has something to do with like DJ culture. Like DJ culture in other countries be hitting on something different, hit on something completely different, like to the point where I'm like, this DJ is fire. Like this, like they're really hitting the mark with this. Like I didn't even, like I know what a DJ does, but I didn't really even give a fuck about DJs or like think they, you know, enhance the experience, but they really set the tone. They really do. And maybe that's just in my city because I live in St. Louis and like it's very, very, very segregated here. Like we literally have Caribbean clubs, we literally have like Afrobeats clubs, we have black clubs, we have white clubs as well. Like it's very segregated here.
I'm so low-key irritated of people who do this and people who try to tell me that in order to fix all my life problems, I just have to put my head down and work harder. The fuck does that even mean?
At this point, no one can convince me that club culture is not dead. No one. Because at this point, like in this day and age, it's not about, you know, people going out having fun. It's really about people getting as much money out of you as possible. The amount of money that they're charging people does not align with the quality that people are getting. So last month, I go out with my friend because she invites me to this club, whatever, never been there before. First of all, it was like an Eventbrite type of setup. So you get your ticket and women are free from this hour to this hour. I'm like, okay, cool. So I get one of the free tickets. I show up there and apparently they had two separate ones. They had women free if you show up by midnight or before midnight, and then women free if you show up before 1 a.m. So I showed up a little bit after 12 with my friend. So my friend gets in for free, but then they want to charge me. And at that point, I'm like, bro, I'm already here. I was like, fuck it. Whatever, I'll just give the $20. We'll see what this night's going to be like. And I tried to keep an open mind. The night was shit. Like, that place would not pass one health inspection. Like, the health code violations alone in there were telling. Like, they had hookah, like, people could get hookah there and stuff like that. And you could tell, like, their air ventilation purification system was not up to code because you left there. One, you couldn't breathe when you're in there for most of the time. And you left there smelling like hookah smoke and whatever other smoke was going on in there. But I digress. My main issue was that when I left the next day, I looked at my bank statements and they charged me double for that ticket. So they charged me $40. So you know I was going to dispute that shit. So I called Chase, had them take it off of whatever. So I got the full $40 back. Fast forward to today, the 22nd of June, and I see that they charged me $20. So you're telling me after all of that, they could not let those $20 from one person go? After one, that they charged me a ridiculous amount. And it was clearly some type of weird scam, because if you're still letting women in for free up until 1 a.m., but just because my ticket specifies that I am only free till 12 a.m., you're really not going to let that go? Like, I feel like anyone who's going to disagree with me is someone who promotes that type of bullshit or has worked at an establishment like that. So they're going to be like, oh, well, yeah, that's what it says. But I think anyone who is around my age and has dealt with, like, different types of bullshit when you go to clubs like this, like, they'll agree with me. But yeah, that's just my little rant. My post-nap rant.
That's why I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with stepping away from the club era.
Clubs are dead anyways.
Unless it's a curated night.
Yeah, like it has to be a specifically well curated. Keyword well curated night. Because some people here are putting things R&B night, and you go there and there's about 3 songs of R&B next.
Okay, so last week or a couple weeks ago, I was invited to an album release party here in Atlanta. And the best way I can describe it, y'all, is that it didn't feel like love. No shade to this artist. I love this artist. I just think times are changing, or maybe I'm just changing, because everything I used to think I wanted or I thought was cool, it doesn't feel good anymore. Baby, for one, the club culture is dead. Until y'all bring back dance floors, I will not be attending. That whole pop bottles, fuck the club up culture, sections culture, it's not natural. Because by having all these sections, you are forcing people to operate in their ego. And for me, that does not feel natural. When I hear music, the first thing I want to do is dance. I want to shake my ass. I want to reach out and touch somebody. I don't want to stare at your bitch in her face. And that's all everybody was doing. We just standing around staring at each other. Who got the biggest chain? Who popping the most bottles? Everybody's operating in their ego, in the evil eye. Now your bitch thinks she can drop a napkin on me because she in a section. You living in the illusions, ho. You think you can't be touched. You think that I can touch you with no hands. And this is why I'm like, I had to leave, because I can no longer deny who I am, and I can't keep humbling myself to be in these spaces that don't feel like love. Everyone was just standing around conjuring up this low energy. I didn't even have enough space to dance to the music I was asked to come and listen to. It didn't feel natural. It didn't feel good.
I wasn't gonna, but now I'm gonna. Let's watch this clip together.
Something about forcing my kid to get up for school before her body's ready to get up for school doesn't make sense to me. Like, why does my kid have to be in school by 8 a.m.? She's 5 years old. Let me know. Like, this poor kid is tired. I'm tired.
Long story short, the whole thing's a scam. The only reason they're there at 8 a.m. is so that we can continue to have hustle culture, so that the worker bees of the world don't realize that they are being used in work, so nuclear families disappear, so that the family work dynamic doesn't work, so that we have people constantly getting divorced because of the stress that they have to endure, plus kids, plus the unfairness, because everybody wants everything to be 50-50, but in reality, life doesn't work that way, and it really shouldn't work that way in your house. But we're shoving our kids off so that they have a babysitter, and then we're calling it school because they need that many hours of schooling, which they do not need. Plus, your kid does not need to go to preschool. They do not need to go to kindergarten. They do, in the United States, need to be registered at some sort of first grade, whether that is homeschool, online school, hybrid school, charter school, public school, private school, whatever kind of school that gives you the okie dokie artichoke. And that is usually between the ages of 6 and 7, depending on where their birthday lies. Short of that, your kids don't need to be there. But schools start at 8, so that the parents can get to work by 9. And then they have after-school care, which in some schools is actually an additional charge. Go figure. But you have to pay it because you're at work till 5. So if you don't pay it, then who's watching your kid? So if your kid leaves, then they get on the late bus, if you have buses where you live, and then they get home, and then you're home, and then you hang out with them for 2 hours, and then it's dinner, bed, and then cycle, repeat, wash, send them off again. Yeah, these kids are tired. When I was in school in the 90s, even up to kindergarten, naps were mandatory. These were hour to hour and a half long down times for children. Now they're not even in preschools. They're not even in daycares, aren't even mandatory naps. These kids aren't sleeping. And the audacity of parents to not recognize that they need sleep, that they need downtime. It blows my mind. Parents talk about how tired they are. So if you as a 35-year-old individual, hypothetically, you're 35, are tired as fuck after 8 hours of work, plus needing to get up to get ready, plus getting there, plus coming home. What makes you think a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9-year-old isn't tired too? The logic is missing for me. They're growing. You're not. And yet, we will fight to keep these kids up and awake. And we want to know why they're crabby, why they don't listen, why they're stubborn, why they're obnoxious. Y'all, there's no reason for this. And the more we continue to let this happen, the more we continue to not talk about how this hustle culture is affecting the mentality and emotional, not to mention physical, health of our future and our children, the more we'll continue to drown in it, and we're not going to get anywhere. Food for thought, I'm just saying.
Don't want to be a girl boss. I don't want to hustle. I simply want to live my life slowly and lay down in a bed of moss with my lover and enjoy the rest of my existence, reading books, creating art, and loving myself and the people in my life. Bada boom, bada bing.